Are we ready? Awesome. Hi guys, thank you so much for coming to our breakout session. We are Simple Surrogacy. My name is Kristen Hansen and I'm one of the co-owners. And this is my partner, Stephanie Scott.
Hello.
And we are based in Dallas, Texas. We are a full-service surrogacy agency, and what that means to you is that we are the coordinators of your entire process. You will usually pick a surrogacy agency, you'll choose a surrogate, and you'll choose a clinic. And we are people who would manage the entire process for you. What that means is we will locate your surrogate, we will pre-screen her before she even goes to your clinic, check all her medical records, we check her background, we run background checks on her, we do all the initial screening of her, and then she will go to your clinic, the clinic that you've chosen. We will coordinate that entire process of getting her to screening. Once she's cleared through screening, we coordinate the entire legal process, making sure all the legal contracts are in place and that your names will go right on the birth certificate. And then after she is pregnant, we'll coordinate paying her out of escrow, making sure all the fees and everything go out on time, all of her expenses are paid in accordance with your contract. We will handle the pre-birth orders going to the hospital, all the delivery stuff. We'll even send you a packing list of what to bring when you come pick up your baby in Texas. So we are full service end to end.
Or Florida.
Yeah, or Florida, if your surrogate is here in Florida. We did bring one of our Florida surrogates here to the conference. She's speaking on the 5 o'clock panel if you guys wanted to learn more about her. So usually we like to just open this up to questions. Most people generally have a lot of questions, so we can do that, or I can keep talking and filling in space. So if anybody has any questions, we'd love to address them. No questions today.
This is a quiet crowd.
I know, it's a quiet crowd. Okay, that's good, because I love to hear myself talk. So, yes?
Can you tell me about your special characteristics? Why we have to choose you and the others? Number
Of course.
one. Number two, money talk, right? No money, no money. So tell me how much, of course, how much will be totally
You want me to do this one?
we have to spend? How much?
I love those questions.
Okay, so why us above everybody else? Well, we do have, I am brilliant. We do have a very good track record. We've been in business for 17 years. We are on the Men Having Babies list as far as agency ratings.
We're on the advisory council.
Yes, we're on the advisory council. Our matching times are superior to most. Most of my average matches are under 3 months. Some only take a couple of weeks. Let's see, as far as our costs go, our costs are also a lot less expensive than most. We try to do everything centrally located to Texas, your clinic, your surrogate. That way you're not incurring travel costs, flying to other states for screening. Your surrogate would have to go twice, your donor would have to go twice. So just that, and then we are really good at what we do. We support all parties, especially our surrogates. If you don't support your surrogates, you don't have surrogates. So we take very good care of our surrogates in our program. They're sent care packages when they have morning sickness just from the agency itself. We take them on annual retreats. Last year our surrogates just got back from a cruise to Jamaica. You know, just for going through the process and doing a great job, and you know, and of course we want them to come back because, you know, sibling projects and new matches are always a great thing. Typical in and out the door time for our program right now is 16 months from the time that you sign the contract to the time you're actually holding a baby. We are more of a concierge service too. If you're coming from out of state and let's say your baby is born in Texas, we bring car seats to the hospital, playpen. I personally help intended fathers with baby registries, also just family planning, what you're going to need when you come to Texas, what you're going to need at home for this baby. I also help with parenting classes. If you've never changed a baby, held a baby, fed a baby, you know, I also work with intended parents for that. And I also can help with nanny assistance. If you know, have a baby that's not sleeping through the night and you need somebody's help after your baby is born, I'm the one to call to help with that as well. So more than just, you know, we're going to help you have a baby, we're going to actually help you know how to take care of that baby.
Become a parent, yeah. And one of the other main differences as well is we're the owners. You're speaking to the owners. A lot of these other agencies that you will speak to, you don't have direct access at all times. You will have the owner's cell phone numbers. So if you have an issue and your coordinator can't help you with it, you can call us directly. We are there 24/7. We are always available. And so the buck stops here. That's saying, we're the ones that can solve your problems.
And I actually do all the matching myself. So as far as the surrogates go in our program, when you fill out your intended profile, I'm the one who's reviewing it, making sure that you put your best foot forward, making sure that surrogates are going to find you attractive. And then I'm going to compare your profile to that of the surrogates in my program, and I'm going to be the one that actually matches you.
And I handle all of the financial payouts. So even though we manage a third escrow payment company that does all of the payments themselves and holds the funds, I personally initiate all those payments. So if you have a question about a payment, you don't have to figure out who you should be talking to. It's always me. So you're going to be able to just come to one person for those two processes. As far as average cost, end to end?
Average cost right now, in and out the door, if you're going to do a single embryo transfer, is $115,000. If you have twins, it's closer to $130,000. And that includes egg donor, IVF expenses, medications, legal fees, agency fee, surrogate and donor compensation, life insurance, cycle insurance for your donor, you name it.
Yep, and that's the average. If you add things onto that, if you choose a very expensive donor, if you choose a very expensive clinic, if you have bed rest, if it takes you multiple transfers to get pregnant, if you end up with triplets, these things will all increase that cost. That's just the kind of the average ballpark number that we see our clients having.
Right. Right now, we're averaging, if you look at Men Having Babies website, $103,000 in and out the door. That's the average on their website. I always tell people a little bit more because I'd rather have you come out under than over.
Right, and that's also a couple of years old. So
yes.
As you know, every year the prices are increasing. So if you do this in 5 years, you will spend more than what we're quoting right now. So
right,
on average, because surrogate compensation is continually rising. So, yes?
How often are your surrogates willing to provide breast milk, or at least a little bit?
About 95% of them are willing to, yes.
Yeah.
We have surrogates that have been pumping for 2 years for intended parents, yes.
If surrogates are willing to pump breast milk following the delivery, yeah, we find 95% are willing
and
to
the
pump
ones
breast milk.
that the intended parents didn't want breast milk, we actually have surrogates that are pumping and freezing and shipping to other intended parents.
Yes, we do. Yeah, within our surrogate network, there are people who buy breast milk from other surrogates who just delivered. It's pretty common.
How does that work? Did they pump, freeze, and ship it every day?
Yes.
Not every day.
It's about every
Usually
3 to 4 days.
Yeah, every 3 to 4 days. And you would set up an account with FedEx or UPS to overnight that to you, so those charges would be billed to you. So you would pay the shipping, and they would just package everything up with liquid nitrogen and put it on an airplane. Most people choose to have surrogates pump for around 3 to 6 weeks. 6 weeks is the gold standard to pass on immunity. So that's what most people like to do. There's a question? Yes?
Hi. What's your process for finding surrogates and screening?
We don't really have to find them anymore. The only, I think, advertising that we do is on social media at this point. We've been in business so long that most of our surrogates come to us word of mouth. As a matter of fact, just this year, I think we've had 3 nurses that helped deliver some of our babies become surrogates. Some surrogates tell their friends, tell their sisters, coworkers. We're pretty big on social media, Facebook, stuff like that. So a lot of women who've been surrogates talk about their experience, and then somebody hears about it and calls us. As far as screening goes, I'm looking for, of course, healthy women, psychologically, emotionally.
Stable family situation.
Stable family situation, no talks of divorce if they are married. If they have a job, we do also financial background on them, make sure that they're not on Medicaid, food stamps. We want them to be able to pay their electricity without the use of their compensation. I'm also looking at things like, why do you want to become a surrogate? What's their motivating factor here? Most surrogates' motivating factor is they knew somebody who went through infertility, or they have a gay uncle, that wants to have children, and they just, they decided to do this. We do psychological evaluations on all of our surrogates, their spouses.
Background and criminal checks.
Yeah, criminal checks.
Credit verification.
Tenure, address verification.
And then we get medical delivery records from all of their previous pregnancies and all of their health records, which are then reviewed by an RE before you guys even see them. RE is reproductive endocrinologist at your clinic or one of our partner clinics.
Correct.
And then they're also submitting the same profile online that we also review.
Yes.
They have several interviews. And as well, insurance verification. We're going to find out if their insurance will cover the surrogacy or if you're going to need other options. All of that happens before the profile even goes live to be matched.
Are most of your surrogates in Texas and your partner clinics within Texas?
I have a lot of surrogates in Texas because we're based there.
I would say 60%.
Yeah, at least 60%. We have surrogates all over the country, though, in every pre-birth order state.
Yep. Every state
we
where
have
surrogacy
surrogates.
is legal.
As far as your clinics, I work with a lot of clinics. Almost every clinic here I do work with.
Yep. We have a number of clinics with San Diego Fertility as well and RMACT. So
Yes.
we send clinics wherever, you know. The surrogate's going to make 2 trips there, screening and transfer. So it doesn't really matter where your clinic is, other than travel costs is a factor. If you're looking to keep costs low, then travel would be a factor. But choosing a Connecticut surrogate and sending her to a Connecticut clinic is still going to cost you a lot more than choosing a Texas surrogate and sending her to your Connecticut clinic. So really choose your partner who you want to work with, who's going to get you through your journey, your partner agency and your partner clinic, and then let the surrogate be the right match for you. Don't overthink about having a Connecticut surrogate and a Connecticut clinic, because you're going to overpay her compensation way more than you would for an airplane flight. Yeah.
With y'all based in Texas, any forecast for not being a green state?
No, we've been a green
No.
state longer than California's been a green state. We've been a green state for 17, 18 years
Yeah.
now. We were one of the first agencies to get, or the first agency to get
men on
2
a
men
birth
on the birth
certificate.
certificate. And we did that even previous to gay marriage being legal nationally. It's been legal there in Texas since even before that law.
And we almost
So.
became blue recently.
Yeah,
So
we're pretty close. Don't forget, Beto is from our state. Don't forget that. Let's just everyone remember. So, and he could be our next president. We'll see.
It's true.
Maybe? No. So anyway,
I don't
there's no
foresee
forecast.
anything changing
Yeah.
as far
People
as
think
the
of-
laws.
Yeah, people think of Texas as a red state, but it's really not in the metropolitan areas. It is not.
It's a
red
melting
state.
pot.
We're very purple. So, yes.
What's this question before? So in the 103,000 that you're talking about, so it's stuck in the finances, the clinic costs are still separate from that?
No, that's
No,
an average
that's
clinic cost
including.
is included in that.
Oh, so
It's an average aggregate, yeah.
That's what I wanted.
It's an
Yeah.
estimate of what we see average
Every
clinic
year,
costs.
I go over the costs, everything the intended parent paid for during their entire journey, from their medical clinic, life insurance, the legal fees, surrogate compensation, because that is also increased in the last several years.
Right.
And that's how we get our average. You know, what did this intended parent go through? Did they have another transfer? Because that's also included in that. Some intended parents have more than one transfer. Some intended parents have had more than one egg donation. You know,
That will
things
bump you up
happen.
to the higher end of that range,
So
though.
you're saying, so the average 153,000, whatever that
Right.
is your projection of also with the clinic. Yeah,
Your projection of what you will spend end to end for everything that you will need from starting to baby. End-to-end estimate of the whole journey.
Right.
Now, of course, you can add to that cost by choosing an expensive donor, expensive clinic, a high compensation surrogate. You can add to it and bump that number up, but that is what we see people spending. Yeah, I'm okay with that too. I mean, that's why that's kind of our whole goal, was the reason we started, was to keep costs low whenever possible. So.
Do you provide any donor or surrogate from international, let's say Ukraine, Russia, or Asia?
All of our surrogates live in the United States, but we do work with intended parents from all over the world. We've worked with intended parents, many from China, from Japan, Saudi Arabia, France, Italy, Spain, Germany, you name it, we've worked with intended parents from those countries. But all of our surrogates reside in the United States, so we can take advantage of the laws here.
And are all U.S. citizens.
Yes, all of them are U.S. citizens.
If I have an egg donor that's in Alabama, how flexible are you with that, the collection of the eggs process? Is she going to have to make multiple trips to Texas to be able to do this?
2.
She will go to your clinic.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
2 visits for the donor, 2 visits for the surrogate. So the first visit for an egg donor is going to be screening. Second visit is going to be actually the retrieval of the eggs. So anything in between that, her cycle monitoring for ultrasounds, looking at her follicles,
Will all be done locally.
blood
near where she
levels,
lives.
that'll all happen at a monitoring clinic
Yeah.
near her.
But her trips will be, the first one will be 1 or 2 days, but the second one will be 5 to 6 days, because they'll be monitoring the end of her cycle to make sure that the embryos are at the right stage the eggs are at the right stage
Right.
to be retrieved. So, but you really don't want to create the embryos anywhere than at your clinic. You don't want to have them retrieved in Alabama, say, and shipped to your clinic, because there's a lot of things that happen in shipping and transit. You want to have the whole
That can go
process done
wrong.
at one clinic. So we highly recommend picking one clinic to do everything at, to have all parties go to that location. Yeah. So,
Go ahead.
yes.
The clinic is not, it's associated with
not owned by you guys.
Correct.
Right. No,
we do
we work
not
with
own
partner ones.
a clinic, no. Just,
Do you guys have the information about the clinic so we can do the research and all that?
Yes.
Was a successful rate for the transplant or
yes, I can give that individually, just based on, whatever clinic you're talking about. Like, I know the stats for Fertility Specialists of Texas, RMA Connecticut, San Diego Fertility. But those are also based on our own experience with them.
Right.
Not their overall. I don't know what everybody's doing at these clinics, but what they've done with us and who we've had work with them, I can give those stats.
Yeah, we'll suggest clinics. We will never tell you you can't use a certain clinic, but we do have people who've used certain clinics that are not necessarily recommended ones that have had additional transfers and things happen to them. So there is a select group, everyone upstairs we work with that we refer to, but we're not going to send you to somewhere that's not going to get you pregnant. We want you pregnant the first try.
Because it makes our jobs easier.
Our jobs
too,
a lot easier.
so.
Happier you, happier us. So we're going to send you to places that are going to get you pregnant right away. So.
if I don't make my own clinic, you can help me to
We can assist
Yes.
you. You still choose your own clinic. We can just set up consult calls with the ones that you're considering. We can refer you to them, but you would still want to pick
I
your
do all the initial consultations for all of our intended parents. So during my initial consultation with an intended parent, I'm going to go over things like your finances. What can you afford? If you, tell me I'm on a fixed income, then I'm going to tell you ways to keep it that,
Right.
keep it the level of as less expensive as possible.
So they're telling us time is up. If you have more questions, we'd love to see you upstairs. Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.